So, are you helping me today, Ollie? You're having a look at all the nice new products that we've got. That's why I keep disappearing. I do, don't I? You have to keep coming to find me. Yeah, because there's so much lovely things. Yeah, not as lovely as you, though. You're going to sit there, are you? Okay. No crafting going on today, so we might get away with it, but it's highly unlikely because people need to see this, and you're sort of kind of sitting on it, aren't you? Welcome to the Ollie Show, everybody. Hi there, it's Anne and Rosie Duck Designs. Thanks ever so much for joining me, Jim, and of course Ollie today, the star of the show. I'm just basically going to do a very quick, well, I say quick, but I'm going to try and make it quick, a quick walk through the mini catalogue, because quite honestly, if we go through it page by page, then we are going to be here all day and nobody wants that. Couple of things. If you watched my walk through the Sale-A-Bration brochure, I was making mention of the joining offer and how the handy little pads of designer series paper that would fit in the Sale-A-Bration bag if you wanted it to go away with. The thing I did forget to mention was you would, state the obvious, you would need a couple of stamping blocks. So if that's a plan, then don't please forget to pack those. And there is plenty of room for a couple of stamping blocks left in the bag. So that was just something, when I was watching it back, I thought, oh yeah, okay, can't really stamp without a block, can you? Spot the deliberate mistake. So we have the mini catalogue. I always find new catalogues very exciting because I go through it and I want this and I want that. I have to say I love the new format of this one. It's really clear and easy to follow, but I also actually went through this and I want all of it, or most of it, and of course it's not necessarily practical unless you are fortunate to have endless supplies of money, which we don't. So I've had to sort of kind of limit myself. Um, there's also another reason why, even if I could get everything all at once, you can't use it all at once. So I like to sort of build up over the period of Sale-A-Bration and get my supplies from the new catalogue. It sort of kind of keeps it fresh, because if you're moving on from one suite to another very, very quickly, you're basically making one card from it and then moving on and doing something else. So that is kind of where I'm at. So I haven't got masses of products to share with you, but I do have some that I'd like to share with you. But as I say, I'm going to try and keep this as brief as I can. There's a lot of really good Stampin' Up videos that they've released relating to the catalogue, so I'm attempting to get all of those written up in blog posts. So to be fair, they're their products, they will explain them so much better than I will, so do give that a look. I'll put the link to my blog on the front of this video as usual. When you go over there, you will hopefully see a big difference. I've thankfully, because of some really good training, I've managed to update my blog recently, and it's a lot more easier to follow, and you can download a PDF of this mini catalogue, a PDF of the Sale-A-Bration brochure, and a PDF of the annual catalogue. You can also go on there and get a direct link to my shop, and you can also access my social media, so YouTube, Pinterest, Facebook and Instagram. So it's all happening on there, so do go and have a look at that. So to the catalogue, we have 7 new punches. I have to say I love a punch. It's not an invitation, I mean one of these sort of things. Oh. I'm not advocating domestic violence here. I would probably give back as good as I got, to be fair. So yes, I do love a punch. They're great, particularly if you don't have a big shot at this moment in time. So I like both things. I like my big shot, I like punches, because I like layers on my cards. Um, but I was really pleased to see there are actually 7 new punches in the new catalogue, and there is already a blog post covering those. I've just got 3 of them here at the moment. In addition, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 new suites. And I'm not going to go through all of them, but you will literally, as you get into the catalogue, you will find them all listed here on page 2. And there's something there really to inspire everybody, really. There's all sorts of things. There's ones that are perhaps more masculine based with the country club, and there are romantic ones, florally ones. So, as I say, something for everyone. And these are all going to be featured as I go through the next few weeks on my blog. So I'm not going to spend too much time with those, but I am going to just talk about a few of the supplies that I do already have. So you move into the catalogue and you get a whole list of all the bundles. So bundles are products that are bundled together, which give you a 10% discount if you buy the bundle. So there's a few pages of that, and then we move on to the suites. I'm coming back to this one because I've actually got a number of the products from here, but I just wanted to pick out a few of those things that you might just miss. So moving on to page 13, we have a very cute stamp set here and a set of coordinating dies. Particularly drawn to it because it of course had a cat in it, but there are some really lovely ideas with this, with the gate, and there's also a gateway basically on here. So it's one of those things, because the colours aren't that vibrant, it might not jump out. Excusing the scratching noise across the floor. It might not jump out at you, but it's really, really cute, and it's for those all sorts of different occasion cards. This, I have to say, I haven't got this yet, but the Parisian Suite, or Parisian Blossom Suite rather, is absolutely gorgeous. Loving the colours in this, and we've got a champagne colour coming through in this, and some beautiful champagne rhinestone dies. So that one's on my shopping list, so we will be coming back to that. I have to say, nothing quite says romance like Paris, really, does it? And no, that's not a hint. I don't want to go. So again, moving on to page 19. This I thought was absolutely fantastic. This is just a stamp set which is basically designed for you to use to create invitations. So be it a wedding, an anniversary, an engagement party, or whatever you want to invite, whatever occasion you want to invite people to. That it's just got everything. It's got save the date, you're invited, join us, date, time, place, RSVP, why you're actually inviting them to celebrate, and then when it's all over, you've got a lovely thank you card. I have to say, I've not got any major celebrations on the horizon, but I think I'm going to have to get that at £15. It's one of those things that you just never know when you might want it. You could even, if you're just doing a really nice posh dinner party, you could sort of step it up a little bit and send out little invitations. I remember a friend of mine last year, I have said about this before, she did a garden party, like a tea party, afternoon tea is the word I'm looking for, but she sent out all these really pretty invitations. So it hasn't got to be for a big event, it can just be for something, you know, a little bit special that you're putting together. So definitely on my shopping list, I have to say. We've got a nice set of, if you've got a big shot and you like the dies with the crinkled edges and a little bit of detail on them. This particular set I think is really good, Stitched So Sweetly dies, and that will coordinate obviously with this set of stamps, but it would also work with lots of other sentiments that you may already have in your possession. So something else I particularly liked, this sitting here in a very grey January. We have seen the sun a couple of times this week, but this just totally evoked thoughts of summer and days by the beach. And I just thought it was a really gentle stamp set that you can then use to colour in, so to really get creative with, and we've got all sorts of ways to colour images in within the Stampin' Up range of products. So again, I think really pretty little stamp set, and you may pass that by. Then I'm going to flip over again to the honeybee bundle. Honeybees, as I said in my last video, are really on trend at the moment. If you look around the shops, they're on all sorts of products, and this suite of products, so you've got some dies and you've got the stamp set, that will really coordinate very well with the Honeybee Designer Series paper, which is one of the level 1 Sale-A-Bration rewards. So you've got here, the bundle is £38.50. You only have to spend £45 to qualify for that first level 1 Sale-A-Bration reward. So £45 excluding postage and packing. So it's not a lot. £6.50 to add onto that to qualify. So a couple of perhaps some glue or an ink pad, and you're over that limit to, and you've got a whole set then of products that you can use. So I'm going to flip right over. This, I'm not going to spend too much time on this because it's I think very much aimed towards if you've got children, grandchildren. But what I did like particularly was this printed gusseted cellophane bags. So they're here, and that would actually work for all sorts of occasions. Again, perhaps if you're having some friends round and you want to, put a couple of little chocolates or something in a little bag and decorate it as a little gift, just to step up the occasion of your dinner party or whatever. So they're new and food safe as usual, but great little set, not just for birthdays but for all sorts of occasions that you might want to make a card for a younger person for. Having said that, I love koalas and toucans and lions anyway, so I'd probably be quite happy. But we did see this paper or elements of this paper last week, so they are very cute. And balloons are always good for all sorts of celebrations. So I've sort of kind of strayed onto this page. I hadn't intended to, but also that Daffodil Delight ribbon is actually very pretty. So let's get back on where I was supposed to be. I'm coming back to this Timeless Tulips. This is a bundle, very pretty stamp set, and you have a coordinating tulip builder punch so that you can cut out the elements of the tulip and then build up your flower. So that is really pretty. I have to say, you could just make a plain tulip, which they've done here, but I personally have to say that I think it works better when you're using it in conjunction with the stamp set. So I think if tulips are your thing, then it's well worth £30.50 for the bundle. Right, so this is actually where I wanted to go. We looked at this paper last week, the country or the clubhouse bundle. We've just got elements of this here. So again, some perhaps more masculine based colours. And yes, I have remembered that I need to keep a piece of this back for you. But I've got other ideas about this. I've seen a couple of good ideas, and I'm sort of taking that and making my own. So watch this space. So there's just a few elements of this paper. But why I particularly moved to this page was I wanted to share this one with you, the By the Dock. Again, a very, very peaceful, sweet, sorry, not sweet, a bundle. And it coordinates with these dies, so you can really make a lovely, pretty layered card. And add your own creative colouring to that. Notice here they've actually used the Clubhouse bundle. They've used not the bundle, but they've used the designer series paper. They've actually coordinated that with the leaping frog, which is quite clever. I like a leaping frog. So over here we've got Do the Impossible, a very encouraging, motivational stamp set. And I was thinking we're looking at the 2020 Olympics this year, and we were very fortunate that we were able to go to a number of it was actually the Paralympics when it was in London. And I have to say the whole atmosphere is very motivational when you're surrounded by people who, you know, particularly when the Paralympians have put adversity to one side and really doing amazing things, but equally with athletes who are that dedicated. So I think this whole sort of year of a special sporting event, I think that will probably go down quite well. And then finally, this is another one we're going to come back to. Very, very pretty and lots of lovely feminine elements to this. The Best Dress Suite. This is the one I was going for. This is again a very pretty Mountain Air bundle, and these stamps here are reversible stamps. So we talked about that in the Sale-A-Bration video. So effectively these are the reverse images of the stamps. So very handy to build up your picture, sort of laying it coming forward, and that has its own set of dies as well. So that was sort of some of the things that I liked. As I say, we'd be here all day if I picked out everything, but I just wanted to share with you some of the products that I currently have. Perhaps we'll keep the catalogue, that might be handy. So the From My Heart suite, grab a drink. There's obviously endless possibilities with this one because we're coming into, particularly in this country, we're coming into the summer months when weddings tend to be more popular. So I'm thinking weddings, engagements, anniversaries. So I've actually made an anniversary card for some friends, which I've got to give to them later. So I wanted to share that with you before it goes. But I'm actually going to come back and do a video on this to just share how I've made that, because it's about time we got back to some crafting. So pretty colours of Floaty Flamingo, Real Red and Whisper White. So not a massive colour palette, but they really work well together. And I've got the designer series paper here. My random sheets that I've already cut into. So we've got some really sort of lovely glossy elements in here. Some more neutral backgrounds. Gorgeous foil. Love this. Is that actually coming out? Again, we've got foil in this one. And we have some foil in this. and it's this one that I've actually used on the card, and I've used this on the envelope. And I've got no idea what I've used on the back. This is the missing one. Yeah, there it is. There's my big sheet. No, it's not. Never mind. There's another sheet in here somewhere that looks like this, and it's got this, the lines on the back here. I thought it was all organised, but of course, this is me. It's not. It never is. I'm looking for a piece that I've already cut. You can carefully cut between each of these strips with your paper trimmer so that you're not damaging any of the hearts. So that's what I've done here, and this will coordinate with this crinkled heart punch. Oh, she got some sun. Threw the curtains open so that we'd get some light in, and we've probably got too much now. So there we go. And then you just turn it round. And you've got two very pretty hearts that you can then use on your cards. This one coordinates with the plain edged heart. So it fits in the punch. So again, they will work very well obviously with your card, but if you buy the designer series paper, they will also work really well with that. And they are of course designed to coordinate with the hearts on the stamp set, which is kind of the point of it. So lots of possibilities with that one. In addition, so you can buy, just a new printer now, haven't we? So I'm not quite sure where I'm supposed to throw all my things. So you can buy the heartfelt bundle, so you get the stamp set and the two punches. So that's the bundle. You've got the designer series paper. You've got some lovely faceted gems here, and some pretty satin ribbon. Possibly we'll be getting them, because when I've made this I thought, oh, I should have bought that to sort of stick those on there. I've actually used the little heart from the dog punch. Probably not the ribbon for me, because we all know what I do with ribbon. But very, very pretty if ribbon is your thing. They've also got some really pretty heart doilies. I particularly like these, and these come in red, real red, and flirty flamingo. So again, they are really good for the base, or to use on your card. You can flip them over, and you've got the white side if you want to add different colours to that, so you can customise the heart to with a sponge brayer. You can make that any colour you want. They are also designed to work with these little things, the little heart foiled tins. Now these are food safe, and the doilies will fit in the bottom, So I'm thinking possibly wedding favours, or again for those special occasions that you might want to put a little gift together for your friends, your company. So you've got the doily on the bottom there. It will also fit really prettily, or it's not really a word, is it? Fit well onto the lid. So you've got that potential use of the doilies, and you can then pretty that up with some of this lovely ribbon, or I would probably stick to my white polka dot ribbon because it's about the only one that I've have any success with, but that would look quite pretty on here. So yeah, sort of things like mint imperials, or whatever you put in wedding favours these days. So that's one idea for them. The other idea is, in fact, that because it's a metal case, you can actually bake a cupcake in this. And there is a video that Stampin' Up have produced where somebody has used them to make cakes. Now, I quite like a blank canvas of a cake, so somebody else has done the hard work, and I quite like decorating cakes. I'm not so good at cooking them, but then I tend to blame our oven, but there you go. But I am going to give this a go. So in the name of creativity, I've got to make some cakes and we'll have to eat them. That sounds like a plan, doesn't it? We have to take a vote on what flavour we're going to go with. But yeah, joking apart, it's a great idea if you want to sort of make a little table full of cupcakes for a special occasion. So as I say, I will, if I haven't already, I've lost track, but if I haven't already, that video will be going up very soon. What can I say? If it's a total disaster, I shall never speak of it again. I shall just eat the evidence. But if it works, then I will be back to share that with you, of me cooking a cake in one of these. This is plastic, so obviously stating the obvious, but that is not oven proof. It's just this bit. So that's that bit. So 27 minutes. Right, I've not played with this yet, so let's do this one very quickly. So this was, no idea where this was. I had it once, didn't I? There's a tulip one, so page 43. So way back, I think it was about 2, if not 3 years ago, there was a really lovely stamp set with umbrellas. This time we've got a really lovely stamp set with an umbrella, but this time we've got a coordinating punch. So we've got an umbrella builder punch. So the umbrella will work that way up, upside down to put the flowers in it. Then we've got the half opened umbrella. So great fun little stamp set, and your builder punch to go with that. So that's, as I say, not played with yet. That's next on my list. Then we've got let's go with the paper, the Peaceful Poppy Suite. This actually comes with 2 bundles in it, so you've got the stamp set and some coordinating dies, and then you've got a complete stamp set that has all these just sentiments in it. So it's a sentiment stamp set. So again, lots of occasions, so may well be worth the investment if you haven't got a stamp set that has lots of sentiments already in it. And then there's another set of dies which give you the big cutout of the big poppies. So let me show you what I mean by that. This is a card that I've made. Again, that's got to go tonight as well. But this is just basically dies. That way. This is just the dies that have been used on Balmy Blue card. So there's absolutely no stamping on this whatsoever. And all I've done is I've cut 2 layers out. So you get this one, and you get that one, and you stamp them both out. In this instance I've done it in balmy blue, and then this bit I've basically then coloured that with a balmy blue Stamping Right marker, the other one, Stamping Blend. So the dark colour of the Stamping Blend, so that's giving me the two different blues, and then that's just stuck on the top, and there's a nice area there where you can really stick a nice amount of glue. And then using this bit here as the centre, I've just cut these centres out using basic black, and then I've just put some Wink of Stella on the middle of the poppy to just bring that, make it more, make the black stand out a little bit more. So exciting stamp set really, or sorry, set of dies, because there's no stamping involved whatsoever. I've used a little stamp here from the actual stamp set, and I've also, unusually, I've used one of the little stamps, cutouts. There he is. I've used that one to just produce this to stick on the poppy, just to make it look a little bit more authentic. So the Designer Series paper was actually designed by the same lady that designed the Perennial Essence Designer Series paper, so it's really got that watercoloured Monet feel to it, and there's lots of really pretty images on that. Just one final thing, this little element of your dies actually produces a little cutout if you layer it up next to, so you do one bit then add to it, so you get a very pretty little border there to add to a card. So there's lots of possibilities just with this particular set of dies, and there's, as I say, very little stamping involved. I'm getting hand signals now that I'm going over. So I've got some of the papers from my little joining set, so I was sort of kind of going to work my way through that. We've also got, with this, there's another set of dies that will coordinate with the little cutout poppies here, and also with some of the labels over there. I do know, got this already uploaded on my blog, so do go over there and find out some more information. There's a really good comprehensive video there from Stampin' Up. Finally, the Tropical Oasis Suite. That's just the final one that I'm going to share with you today. This is a card that I made using that. So again, we've got a lovely set of dies that work with this. So we've got the stamp set and the dies, and you've got pineapples, lots of pretty flowers. It also coordinates well with the Tropical Chic dies, so these are the leaves from the Tropical Chic die, so I kind of liked that with that, so I use that instead of the leaves here, but you do have leaves to work with on that one. So again, really vibrant colours. You've got a lovely Memories and More card pack if scrapbooking is your thing. Also very handy to have when you want that card in a hurry. You can sort of just take one of the elements of the Memories and More card pack and then just put it on a card base and you have a card. We've got some Oasis, Tropical Oasis trinkets, so a little guitar, a pineapple and a little flower. And there's also a 3D embossing folder and some braided trim there as well in this very neutral colour. So I will just very quickly grab the Designer Series paper in the hope that the tablet lasts. So we have that one, a nice neutral background. Cute, this one, I love that. Again, we've got this nice neutral background that would really work with. There's some really pretty colours running through this. Gold leaves. Got to be my favourite. Flamingos. I love a flamingo. Nice tropical fruit there. I actually had one of them not that long ago, that dragon fruit. That was really nice. Not easy to find in the shops, but very nice if you can track one down. So we've got pineapple there. It's educational as well, this paper. And the bird of paradise, which is always evokes those thoughts of a tropical oasis, and palm trees on the back there. So again, lots of pretty colours. I like how this year we've got all the colours shown in their actual colours down here. Obviously it's written under here as well, but it just gives you that splash of colour, and it shows you what colours that you're going to be working with. So that is a very brief walk through the catalogue. I can't do it justice without spending hours going through it, so I hope that's just a taster for you. So don't forget there is Sale-A-Bration at the moment, so anything that you okay, anything that you buy that totals £45 or more, excluding postage and packing, you start to qualify for Sale-A-Bration rewards. And if you missed the last video, there's all about Sale-A-Bration on that. There's also blog posts about Sale-A-Bration and lots of different information about the catalogue, and that is continually being added to as I get to write the blog post. So that's it for the walkthroughs. I'll be back to do what we all like to, or what we prefer to do, and that is crafting next time. So probably be the hearts card or something similar to that. So usual links on the front. All of the products obviously that I've highlighted can be purchased via my online shop, so there'll be a link to that on the front of the video, but as I said earlier, you can access that via my blog now. So I think that's it. My assistant, my director, fast asleep. Oh no, not quite. Building your part up, aren't you, Ollie? You're going to say goodbye to everybody. See you next time. So from Ollie, from Jim and from myself, do take care. Thank you ever so much for joining us, and we will see you again very soon. Bye bye.